Well-known DJs who come to the top have everything: cash, extravagance, allure, and overabundance. However, envision having such a lot of money as in some cases he forgets about what to spend it on. And definitely you end up destitute. That is precisely exact thing happened to a portion of these huge names. Here are the 6 most idiotic DJs who went belly up because of their careless monetary bumbles. Number 6, DJ Steve. How about we start with the incredibly popular DJ Steve Aoki? Any place you see enormous groups charging beats, there may be this one man at the focal point. All things considered, this is the amount he shakes the floor. DJ Steve Aoki acquires 6-figure totals per gig. Back in 2019, this DJ sensation shook more than 200 shows and acquired $30 million, which landed him the spot as the 4th most generously compensated DJ universally. That is noteworthy, correct? However, he wasn't this fortunate all along. At the point when Steve Aoki was 19 years of age, he was a school kid who had a fantasy about turning into a fruitful performer. So he sent off a record mark with just $400 and named it Dex. It was smart. Yet for Aoki, this thought was a long way from beneficial in spite of faint fake's underlying achievement and non-mainstream hits. Aoki was supposed monetarily submerged, and he's in every case straightforwardly shared his underlying involvement with a meeting on Bear's Independent Taste Better series. He shared out he was nailing it in deals. He sold 880,000 actual duplicates. However, he just couldn't deal with his financial plan. He would constantly wind up spending more than he would procure, thus he wound up with an obligation of almost $100,000 and a wallet loaded with maximized MasterCards. He was destitute, yet did he tap out? No way. Aoki began a side hustle. He began DJing at any gig he could land around. Then he was making a simple $50 per night. $50 gig established the groundwork for his realm with each party, each set. Aoki began further developing. He likewise followed a strict spending plan from $50 per night. He moved up to 100, then 1,000. The numbers continued to climb. Thus did he. And only a couple of years after the fact, there was Aoki obligation-free purchasing his most memorable vehicle, feeling like he had recently vanquished Mount Everest. In any case, the DJ life is loaded with shocks. At the point when the music world was bowing at his feet, he was hit by another monetary issue. A fan sued him, guaranteeing that a trick of his at a 2012 show left her with a serious neck injury. The fan sued Aoki and requested $10.7 million. Yet this time, Aoki was not prepared to surrender. He settled with the fan, kept away from court, and bounced once again into the scene more grounded than at any other time. By 2016, he became sound. Yet on top, he was named one of the world's most generously compensated DJs by Forbes. So what's the lesson of the story? Indeed, on the off chance that you have cash, make a point to adhere to your financial plan. And there's generally smart to have a part-time job. While DJ Steve Aoki's monetary difficulty was genuine, this next DJ guaranteed that he went belly up. Yet it was each of the A major trick. DJ Vlad, the DJ we're discussing is DJ Vlad. He's an American figure who transformed his affection for hip bounce into a major business. Growing up, Vlad cherished hip jump music and even improved at break. Moving his enthusiasm followed him to school at UC Berkeley. There, encompassed by hip bounce culture, Vlad found another adoration: Jong. Yet Vlad's life took a significant turn when he chose to move to New York. However, tragically not positively, he was in the large city. Sure, there were numerous potential open doors, yet he was unfortunate before all else. As a matter of fact, he once uncovered that in the first place he used to work at his companion's club and even DJ'd at a strip club that was practically bankrupt. In spite of the difficult situations, Vlad figured out how to sparkle. He collaborated up with Filthy Harry, delivered mixtapes about renowned rappers like Big Deal and Tupac. Despite the fact that he was bringing in some cash, Vlad knew the mixtape scene was getting unsafe. DJs were causing problems, and Vlad would have rather not been straight away. Then, at that point, came a game changer. YouTube. Everybody moved from news and television to online media to get updates and amusement. Vlad saw an opportunity to accomplish something else, and that is the point at which he sent off Vlad Television. This stage turned into a main internet-based hotspot for metropolitan news and very important person interviews. This stage transformed into a motherlode by 2022. Vlad's diligent effort took care of no doubt, and his total assets hit $5 million. Then came the blabbermouth. Bowie Boss is a rapper who frequently shows up on Vlad television. Last year, Bowie shocked everybody when he said on a well-known public broadcast, The Morning Meal Club, that he makes up to $5 per year. Just from meeting with Vlad, individuals could barely handle it. How should Vlad bear the cost of this? Bowie was truly making that much. Vlad's reaction was startling. He made a GoFundMe page. However, not truly. He was kidding, showing his comical inclination about the entire situation. Vlad guaranteed he was becoming bankrupt since now the entirety of his visitors needed a similar compensation as Bowie. Obviously, he wasn't really gone belly up. This was Vlad's approach to managing the tattle and keeping things light regardless of the show. Vlad's business is as yet blasting. He knows precisely how to take advantage of each meeting, breaking his meetings into many parts and in any event, offering restrictive substance to his individuals. To begin with, this technique makes watchers want more and more and keeps the cash streaming in. As a matter of fact, presently his total assets is $10 million because of his shrewd techniques. While DJ Vlad was simply kidding about becoming bankrupt, this next DJ confronted it, no doubt. He lost something other than his cash, as a matter of fact. DJ Slave Master. This is the means by which DJ Slave Master lost everything. DJ Slave Master was conceived Joseph Menda, in addition to any plate jockey slave master. Mixing his turntable abilities with jobs as a music maker, ability director, marketing expert, and music occasion advertiser, he supported fundamentally Kenyan music. His responsibility was clear. He needed to help nearby ability and push Kenyan music to the very front. DJ Slave Master's large break came in 2005 anyway. He came to titles way later in his life when he came into a relationship with Veronica Wanja, otherwise called NLA the Sovereign. Who's a vocalist herself, their sentiment was no mysterious. They shared their affection and life transparently via virtual entertainment and turned into a dearest couple among fans. They got drawn in toward the start of 2023 anyway. Not all that sparkles is gold. The couple, as of late, stirred things up around town again, yet this time for a less euphoric explanation, their separation in a new radio meeting. Slave Master opened up and shared his side of the story. He admitted that the split was not because of any outrageous explanation. However, was the consequence of mounting difficulties, which included mostly monetary battles that started in 2022. So what prompted these monetary issues? Very much DJ Butcher uncovered that last year he was arranging this occasion when he chose to welcome Chris Brown to the stage. Yet upon the arrival of the occasion, he was beguiled. Big Time Butcher was conned by colleagues, one of whom was situated in Dubai. Chris Brown never came to the show. This trick cost him cash, his standing, his soul, and a whole lot more. He even gave his acquiescence. And afterward came his monetary defeat, which he conceded contributed essentially to his relationship issues within AA. Slave Master uncovered that his separation was not their first, and in AA had isolated 3 different times during their 2-year relationship. He referred to a specific occurrence that appeared to be the straw that broke the camel's back. Following a late evening meeting with specialists Arab Kid and Nadia, they needed to cover their bills. Slave Master needed more cash, sufficiently even to cover bills. Na communicated her disappointment and said that she was burnt out on managing his monetary issues. And afterwards she proposed that they enjoy some time off to zero in on their singular hustles. Butcher and NAA got participated in 2023, and they arranged their wedding inside the year, yet as destiny would have it, Butcher's monetary slump transformed those fantasies into dust. Today, we don't have any idea how DJ Butcher will deal with his funds. Could he have the option to return to his extravagant life? At any point, could he and NAA reunite? The reality of the situation will surface at some point. Despite the fact that DJ Butcher didn't go with idiotic monetary decisions, he actually became penniless on the grounds that he was not sufficiently sharp and didn't have a business-situated mentality. This next music craftsman was the most incredible in each space, and gone with each great choice he ought to have, yet at the same time wound up breaking number 3. DJ Sabu, we're discussing, in all honesty, DJ Sabu, whose genuine name is Sasso Leop. He's a well-known craftsman in South Africa. He's known as a circle rider, television and radio personality, music maker, and fruitful business visionary. His story is one of poverty to newfound wealth, and he endeavored to acquire his prosperity. DJ Sabu began his excursion from humble starting points. His spotlight was not given to him with a royal flair. He entered the telecom world as a worker, The man committed 1.5 years to getting acquainted with everything without pay. This period was vital, as it was then that he found his enthusiasm for radio and television. His advancement came when he joined the famous radio broadcast YFM. There, he delivered as well as introduced the end-of-the-week space excellence in The Monster. His extraordinary expertise for connecting with crowds prompted his own early evening show, Y Focal Point. This was the show that slung him into fame inside the station local area. From that point forward, in 2007, he joined Okosi FM to have the morning meal show, just to get back to YFM and afterward continue on toward Metro FM. In 2010, his profession at these stations, especially YFM, denoted his ascent to notoriety as a dearest radio personality. Past radio, Subu's gifts reached out to creating and facilitating well-known end-of-the-week shows and, in any event, shooting a film called Hang Time. However, he didn't simply do that. He likewise helped to establish TS Records and facilitated the unscripted TV drama companions like these. Life appeared to be a fantasy for DJ Sao. Around then, he was residing in a wonderful current home in South Africa and partaking in the advantages of progress. DJ Sabu shocked his fans when he straightforwardly conceded that he was confronting tough situations. He was for all intents and purposes becoming penniless. He uncovered that his monetary difficulties started when he was terminated from Metro FM for advancing his caffeinated drink Mofa at the Metro FM grants. This episode was a defining moment since it prompted his takeoff from Standard Telecom. His subsequent stage was to begin autonomous undertakings. SAU then, at that point, sent off his own radio broadcast, Monstrous Metro, and began the honor-winning web recording, The Tricksters. Corners say, these new activities kept him above water after considering his excursion. DJ Sabu didn't point fingers or flounder in self-indulgence, all things being equal. He embraced full liability regarding what is going on. He realizes that life's high points and low points are important for a more noteworthy expectation to learn and adapt. While DJ Sabu dealt with his circumstance by acting rapidly, this next DJ went destitute because of his imbecilic choices. Number 2, DJ Yella. DJ Yella, otherwise known as Antoine Carebe, is a force to be reckoned with of ability in the music and amusement industry. His fans from one side of the planet to the other began remembering him when he became one of the establishing individuals from NWA Rap Bunch. This obvious another period in his life. One of DJ Yellow's most notable works with NWA was creating beats for the collection Straight Out of Compton. When this collection was delivered, bam, it began breaking records and changed a ton of things about hip bounce, and fans praised DJ Yellow's work as a maker. Things were going all around. Well, until 2008. Tragically, this year was not a great time for the craftsman. All that he had worked for begun going downhill, and there was nothing that he could do. He was powerless, curiously. That was that very year, when he quit doing any motion pictures, and that didn't demonstrate great for him either. 2 years after the fact, DJ Yellow's funds were not looking great. He was spending far more than whatever he made. The craftsman ways of managing money were not normal for what any other person had at any point seen. Now the vast majority attempt to adjust their spending and investment funds, yet tragically that wasn't true with DJ Yella. He was unable to go by a day without going overboard his cash. How a boat, Rolexes, and 50 vehicles, and so on. He had it yet? For what reason did the hip jump craftsman stall out with such ways of managing money? Well, as per DJ Yella, this is on the grounds that he didn't have anybody to admire. His dad wasn't the figure he anticipated that he should be. And on top of that, he committed a colossal error of not having a money chief. This implied that he had all the opportunity on the planet to spend however much he needed to. There was no halting him. One thing prompted one more, and the most horrendously terrible ended up DJ Yella. He was destitute from 2010 to 2012 and resided with his sister during this time, and he needed to offer every one of the 50 of his vehicles to get things in the groove again. Everything happened as a result of his ways of managing money, yet there's an astounding turn to this. Well, as per DJ Yella, he was never under any circumstance in affection with the cash. As a matter of fact, he never thought often about it since it was only an instrument for him, which is one reason why he was least made a fuss over how he was consuming it. Yet his time on Earth took a turn for good in 2012. He understood the reason for his life while he was visiting a companion. And from that point forward, things have gotten better for him. While DJ Yella had a significant mishap and lost a portion of his most valued belongings, the following hip bounce craftsman on our rundown confronted a comparative destiny, yet his story had a fascinating turn, and it was a near fiasco. Number 1, DJ Ked OK, DJ Khaled is certainly not a DJ fundamentally yet. He has it in the name, and being the greatest name on the rundown, it just felt suitable too. Put him here, DJ Khaled is one of the most generously compensated hip jump sensations on the planet, yet things were generally difficult for him. He confronted a few truly difficult stretches in his life. He was just 13 when he tracked down his energy to begin DJing, sadly just 3 years after the fact his family went through a monetary misfortune and lost everything in spite of this hard blow. He continued working, wanting to become showbiz royalty in the music business. Anyway, things were difficult for him. He scarcely made $100 per week. He was removed and remained in lodgings and, surprisingly, his vehicle since he was unable to manage the cost of a fair loft. Yet he actually continued onward and ultimately began getting better. He even made $1,000 consistently. And starting there onwards, DJ Khaled rose to progress. After every one of the long stretches of battle, difficult work, and commitment, he purchased his most memorable house in Miami for $8 million. This was one of his most memorable huge buys. Strangely, this wasn't a last-minute choice. The hip bounce craftsman had arranged this since he was a kid. Now you may be feeling that. After that multitude of hit melodies and becoming wildly successful in the business, DJ Khaled was good to go for life. Well, that wasn't the situation when money begins to come in, thus do the issues hip bounce. Specialists have gained notoriety for going overboard their well-deserved money, and DJ Khaled was the same when it came to burning through cash. Even his previous battles weren't sufficient to keep him grounded. The craftsman once uncovered that he was practically going to lose his Miami chateau. And for what reason did that happen? Well, it turns out DJ Khaled was short on the home loan installment in 2010. And it happened in light of one wrong monetary move. He had put resources into his organization, We the Best, yet the venture wasn't giving him the benefit he'd expected. The circumstance was getting precarious to such an extent that he even chose to move in with his folks in New Orleans. He had simply multi-month to orchestrate the installment, and that is the point at which he provoked himself to make things right. And it took care of too. DJ Khaled turned into a Snapchat sensation and, surprisingly, delivered a record-breaking collection. That is the very thing you call a turnout. You've presently perceived how a DJs became bankrupt because of their idiotic mix-ups. Presently, it is the right time to take a gander at a few stupid big names who misstepped the same way and lost everything. Thanks for watching Gossip Now.